The last thing we want to get into, the last thing we're going to get into today is a Metro teacher who was grooming a student. So we're going to jump into that and see what all that was talking about. So, yeah, it's crazy. You can't. Some teachers, you've been seeing, I don't know what it is, but you've been seeing a lot of, not a lot, but teachers having essay with students. It's crazy. You can't, and I can't say anything crazy because I know when I was a high school student, especially a high school student, I don't really know about middle school, but when I was a high school student, I'm not gonna lie and say, especially as a guy, I was like, oh yeah, that teacher is very attractive. Yeah, we definitely said that. We definitely was like, oh yeah, well, who's the most attractive? Yeah, I'll do some crazy stuff. But yeah, still a crime. No matter what happens, if the teacher goes down with it, it's a crime. Deserve to be locked up. But let's jump right into the video. Let's finish it up. Remember, this is AC Reviews the World. Remember to like and subscribe. And let's review the world together. But let's get right into this last video for today. Oh. Gotta stop the mute.
It was arraigned this afternoon on multiple charges. Fox News' Camille Amiri joining us live from Highland Park Justice Center there with the very latest. Camille.
Yeah, we just wrapped up a press conference at 4 o'clock here at the police department. We learned a lot about this case, absolutely horrific details. We're going to take a look at some video of the arraignment and the picture of Vincent Weaver, the 29-year-old teacher who allegedly sexually.
I wanted to pause it so everybody can see. This is the Highlands Park teacher who was accused of essay.
Assaulted a 12-year-old student over a
12 years old? Nah, boy, you about to get toe up in prison. Boy, it's over with.
Month period of time happening at George Washington Carver Academy on school grounds, according to police. Happening, like I said, over a 4-month period.
Where are the parents?
The initial tip came in. The victim initially reported it on May 15th.
The victim reported.
Then they were able to arrest him literally 24 hours later.
They said it was 3 or 4 months?
He had been suspended from school. The teacher had been suspended from teaching on May 2nd on an unrelated incident when police say that he had a sex toy fall out of his school bag. So keep in mind, he'd been suspended May 2nd. Then the complaint came in May 15th.
That is great. A sex toy fall out of his bag at school? Diabolical. Throw him in jail.
He had not been in the school since then and then arrested on May 16th. Take a listen to the charges.
Today, the suspect, Vincent Weaver, was charged with criminal sexual conduct in the first degree, 1 count, 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, and misdemeanor indecent exposure. He was given a bond today by the 30th District Court of $250,000 cash or surety.
Well,
and in the event that he is able to bond out, he's required to wear a GPS tether.
Okay, good. Yeah, because remember, bond, no matter what the bond is 10%. So he had to get 10% to get out. But yeah, it's good they told him to get him a GPS because this man needs to be watched 24/7.
And interesting fact about this teacher. He's a dance teacher, and there was a performance on May 16th that he was a big part of, the police said, and he was told he could not come because, of course, he had been suspended on May 2nd. But police say he dressed up like an elderly woman wearing a wig and glasses and a mask and heavy clothes to disguise himself just so he could go to that dance performance on May 16th, and that's when he was arrested. Of course, we're going to have a lot more on this story coming up at 6 and 10. But we
dressed up as an elderly woman just to get to the dance recital? Yeah, boy, they don't like pedophiles in jail, boy. You about to
do want to tell you that police believe there could be more victims, and if that is the case, they want them to come forward and call Highland Park Police. Reporting live in Highland Park, Camila Mary, Fox 2 News.
Well, with what you just said, I'm sure a lot of people at home are wondering exactly what they just heard. Very odd. But with that being said, do they police suspect that this was happening, these alleged acts at the school?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the questions we did ask. They didn't want to talk about whether the student was a male or female. We did get the age out as 12 years old, as I reported. But saying that this happened
I wasn't even
on
thinking
school
about that.
grounds.
It's a new time.
I don't know if
male
it happened in
male or female
classes after school, but there was definitely a grooming process. This teacher, police say, was very well liked, very popular, very nice, very trusted. And of course, we do know from covering these stories that that's often how they gain the trust of these students, because they are just everybody's friend and so well liked.
Everybody's
and of course,
friend.
you saw in that mugshot too the flowery blouse. I believe that was part of his costume when he was dressed as an elderly woman to go to this dance performance. So just a lot of layers to this one. Of course, the victim, how brave this victim is to come forward to tell his or her parents, and then for them to report. And police are really hoping that if there are other people out there watching, that they do the same thing. Taryn, back to you.
You gotta truly watch your kids. You don't know what's going to be happening. It's sickening that you have to think that someone in your school, in the school that you take your kids to, would do this. But sick people all around the world, both male and female, do it. But it's crazy to even think about. But I keep saying I will keep everybody updated on what's happening with this teacher. When he goes to trial and all that stuff, we need to see what happens, and we need to, Jesus. The world is getting crazier and crazier every day, it feels like. But all we can do is, what I say, review the world together. But remember this. All right, everybody, remember this is AC Reviews the World. Remember to like and subscribe.